Good evening. Tonight on The Big Match, there's tension in the air as the football season goes into its last few weeks, where the fans, the teams and not least the managers are seeking that vital victory or two. Like Luton Town, bottom of the table, now facing Aston Villa, our dramatic main match tonight. Also Watford, striving for a place in Europe and now visiting West Bromwich Albion. And a bonus package of goals and excitement as Newcastle United face Blackburn Rovers.
The headlines: 4 of Arsenal's key players face a battle to be fit for next week's FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United. While United's Brian Robson is back in business. He returns after a 6-week absence with a goal against Southampton. Still on the cup, a major blow for Sheffield Wednesday, but on an excellent day for London clubs, Fulham boost their promotion chances with a valuable late winner.
And after the football tonight, the US Masters Golf from Augusta. And news tonight that Britain's Nick Faldo is making a great charge there. First, it's Luton Town against Aston Villa. Luton right at the bottom of the First Division. They've not won at home in the league since Christmas. Aston Villa 4th in the table and looking again for the big money in Europe next season. So for both men in charge, quite an afternoon in prospect.
Rival managers here today, but old friends. In fact, Tony Barton of Aston Villa first met his opposite number, David Pleat, here when Tony played for Nottingham Forest, and David was an apprentice there and just 16 years old. Both of them, in fact, outside rights. Worrying times for the Luton manager, David Pleat, at a time when he needs all the goals he can get. His leading goal scorer, Brian Steen, is still not fit. He's been out with a foot injury for 4 months, but plays a reserve game at Tottenham today. He also has to face up to the fact that he's without his captain and major influence in midfield, Brian Horton, who's serving a 1-match suspension. Wayne Turner replaces him. What a contrast then for Aston Villa's Tony Barton. We're unchanged, he said, and his side, remember, has lost only one of their last 7 league games. Des Bremner's got over a slight leg injury. The only decision for Tony Barton was to name the substitute, and his midfield man, Alan Kerbishley, which means that Tony Morley, who scored a hat-trick in the reserves in midweek, still cannot get back. The referee today is Les Burden of Dorset. And Luton's scoreboard, such good communications between the club and its supporters. And there's also a message from the fans to the players today. The skill is all right. Now show us you'll fight. Aston Villa in the dark strip of claret and blue, attacking the goal to our left. 4th in the First Division and really quite hopeful of getting a place in Europe again next season against Luton, whose one thought now must be to survive in the First Division. A bottom club, and they've not won a league match here at Kenilworth Road since the end of December when they beat Watford by a goal to 0. It really is a critical afternoon, indeed a critical week for Luton. This game here today and then a home game on Tuesday against fellow strugglers Birmingham City. And their bugbear has been that they just can't put winning form together at home. They've won only 4 league games here at Kenilworth Road this season. Here's Gordon Cowans for Aston Villa. Villa wearing black armbands, the recent death of the former chairman, Mr. Bendel. Well, Evans making a break from the back, with Bremner in a lot of space on the right. Money gets it back to Tony Godden.
Ready, get it.
Slipping Cowans well. Hill running into trouble there. It was certainly pretty heavily congested, but in running into trouble he also got Luton a free kick. Indirect. About 8 yards outside the penalty area, but a pretty central position. And Mr. Burden not unnaturally saying, I think you should get on with it. Antich, a little chip through. Charged down by Shaw. Oh, unlikely to be dispossessed. As Moss takes it on, is fouled by the Villa number 8. And it's another free kick to Luton. And I'm sure David Pleat, it's an anxious afternoon for him. And Antich with it. Aylott and Elliott poised on the far side. If it's floated in that direction, that's the man they'll aim for. Instead of that, he drove it in, and in the end, that could have been a disastrous moment for Villa. Alan Evans just getting in to clip it behind, and there wasn't much to spare as he clipped it away. Spink failing to hold it, and Evans judging it to a nicety. Good free kick by Antic. Villa obviously expecting something quite different. Moss with the corner. A deep one again towards Aylott. His header's there. Elliott getting it down with another one and into the arms of Spink. And Mortimer for Villa. Cut out by Money. And Donaghy playing it there again towards Walsh. And saved with an element of good fortune, I fancy, by Nigel Spink. Carved away for another Luton corner. Good piece of play by Walsh, who's not scored, in fact, since January. One of his last scoring achievements was a hat-trick in a win at West Ham. It would be a good day for Luton for him to get back on the score sheet again, but not with that, as Bremner gets it away for Villa. Walters. Mortimer. The skirmishing so far has been in and around the Villa goal mouth, but it's still 0-0, and a free kick now for the foul by Antic on Mortimer. Carnes, too firm. Antic. Good control by Ricky Hill. Gibson away. Good jump again by Elliott. He's coming out well at the moment in his battle with Peter With, although With finds Walters. Walters. Mortimer. Shaw. Straight to Moss there. Hill. Back again for Moss. Now there are a few rights going forward. Turner in a fair bit of space on the far side, supported by Donaghy away on his left, but Turner then opting to go all the way. Just kept in by Mal Donaghy. That's a good cross towards Aylott. Can he get there? Can he still get there? So Trevor Aylott scores, puts Luton in the lead. The long cross by Donaghy. He weren't all that quick, but he was really quick, was Aylott. And Luton won, Aston Villa 0 with 29 minutes gone. Well, they're suitably encouraged by that goal, Luton, at the moment. They're coming forward with no little venom. And here's Aylott again, just wide. Big man, but a good swift turn and a real economy about getting that shot in, but just wide of the far post. Evans versus Walsh, and Walsh won that in the air. Counts. Space for Williams. Luton still leading by a goal to 0. Bremner. And Stevens away, only as far as Gordon Carnes. Long-range shot, deflected for Shaw. And a lovely goal. Well, a little bit of artistry there from Gary Shaw, and the time to show us it. A deflection that left him in the clear. There's a touch, and there's a volley wide of the keeper, Tony Gordon, and that's 1-1. 4 minutes before half-time. Superb bit of skill there from Gary Shaw, 21st goal of the season. Walters. With Luton undone, I think, by the deflection that took the ball through to Gary Shaw, but they got a few more problems here now, but got them quickly out. And certainly he had no chance at all with that volley. Turner. Couple of minutes to half-time. Walsh looking for Moss. It's Elliott again. McNaught's header only as far as Ricky Hill. And an obstruction there by Cowans, a free kick for Luton Town. Coming towards half-time. Indirect. Elliott's up on the far side, and very closely watched by Evans. Played for Moss. That's the more conventional one, and it very nearly came off. It's a free kick they've tried several times this season, and it certainly gave Moss the clear shot. Good jump again by Elliott. No problems with that one. And a good challenge by Turner. Walsh's pass didn't quite come off, but he's got another opportunity this time. He finds Ricky Hill with Moss in a lot of space away on the right. A little chip. Half-time whistle. Half-time just about the right result, I would think. Trevor Aylock having put Luton ahead after 29 minutes, hooked in from close range, and then a lovely piece of artistry and a volley to finish it off 4 minutes before half-time from Gary Shaw, making the half-time score here as the players come off the field. It's Luton Town 1, Aston Villa 1. And at half-time, a collection around the ground aimed towards producing funds for a new centre for Luton Town Football Club. So it's Luton's turn to get us underway. Now attacking the goal to our left and needing to remain absolutely secure at the back while they go hunting for 3 valuable points up front. I think also in the last 4 games they have conceded quite a few goals. 13 in fact. That included a 4 against Arsenal, a 3 against Sunderland, a 5 against Watford. And those days have got to be put behind them. And they've got a corner. Aylott again there. Elliott's come forward. And Turner's come up. Donachie's in there too. Long corner and well taken by Nigel Spink. Still in play miraculously. Antic let it run. A flick on for Walsh. Always somebody at his back giving him a chance to turn, but that's more like the Paul Walsh of earlier this season. And so is that. And so is that. And here's Moss. And the cross coming in, and as well from Villa that Gary Williams was there, but that was really some very pleasant stuff from Luton Town. Ricky Hill. Antic. Applause all around the ground for that Luton Town move, and that's suddenly though they cast off their shackles and their fears, and Paul Walsh suddenly found the form of October. And Luton looked a different side altogether. And Shaw to Cowans. Walters. Kick. No, it's a free kick. It's a foul by Shaw. One already on Reddy Antish. Although it looks as though it's only Godden was about to take a goal kick. The referee has said no, it's a free kick. Throw for Luton. Kirk Stevens. Oh, the keeper's in trouble. Well, that was almost a totally improbable goal from Kirk Stevens. And it's about this moment that Nigel Spink begins to stumble. There he is, you can see him, and he's completely lost his balance, and I swear that was no more than half a yard wide of the far post. Cowans. Straight to Turner. Antich. Money. Antich again. A little touch on for Moss. That was a good piece of play by Williams, and then by Bremner, and here by Shaw. And a good ball by Shaw for Mortimer, who's got Walters away in space on the left. With in the middle, Shaw, Mortimer and Bremner getting up quickly now for Aston Villa. There's Bremner, but while he waited for it, Ricky Hill decided he was going to take possession. In the end, it's Antich who gets it away. But only Aylott is really up in a strong position for Luton. Well, he's looking to get the better of Evans. Does so and finds Walsh. Moss. Crossed back nicely by him. It almost came for Paul Walsh. In point of fact, and Villa were stretched there for a moment, and might be again. David Moss, and the ball kept in play well by him. Aylott trying to get in, and Spink just getting the touch that mattered for Aston Villa. Now Bremner, flick on for With. He's got Elliott with him. Cowans. Again Elliott there. Wanting Tony Godden to hit the long ball forward, and he obliged. Turner versus Bremner. Bremner coming away with this one. And Shaw going through the middle. And Stevens holding him at bay. That could have been a nasty moment for Luton, no mistake. We're in time added on now. As Antich comes forward again, hits it straight at Bremner. Luton's throw once more. There's little time to be lost now, if either side's looking for a three-point win here. Aylott up. Ricky Hill trying to get in. Evans gets it away. In the touch. Comes for Walsh, first to react. Money playing it to Turner. A deep cross there, they'll all go for this one, and Spink got above the ball. Elliott's header. Another Luton throw. The referee's looked at his linesman, and I think they both agreed that time is well up now. Aylott. Aylott's header. Hill. Can he finish this off? Right at the finish. And there's your answer. But maybe Aylott, except he can't find the ball at the moment. Now Walsh, perhaps he can. And that's Money can. Oh, and it's there! Moss has got a winner! the 6-yard area. Moss at the far post into the roof of the net. And Luton have almost certainly won 3 precious points. You can see the clock there, 46 minutes, 35 seconds. So, can Villa reply? Will Luton hold them now? They surely will pull everybody back. The referee's looked again at the watch. There's Mortimer. Whistles all around Kenilworth Road now. They just want to hear the whistle that matters as Williams plays it in again. Important for Cotton to get this one. And in fact, he missed it, and so did With, and it's a goal kick. David Pleat under pressure, as any manager must be when his side's at the bottom of the table. And now just praying for that last whistle, and he's got it. And Luton have won it with a goal right at the end by David Moss. After Alot had put Luton into the lead, and Gary Shaw had scored the equaliser for Aston Villa. Well, applause there for his team from the manager. And a final score here at Luton, which is Luton 2, Aston Villa 1.
There was a shot of you applauding as you came off the field. Tell me what your thoughts were.
Well, I feel that when we've been... it's a bit tense, although we're trying to pretend that it's not. And the crowd's anxiety transmits itself through to the players. And I thought today the crowd sensed that we were playing our football. It was back to the Luton as we know it, and we've come to educate them in our footballing ways. And it hasn't been like that over the last few weeks. And I just felt that they appreciated what we were doing today, and I felt that they were tremendously helpful in getting the victory.
Had you given up hope of getting that goal that would have meant 3 points?
Well, I mean, I think you do... your heart's in your mouth a little bit, Brian, when games are like that and you're taking the game to them and it's just... you just can't get it. I never give up hope, but at the same time, maybe I had.
Now, we've got to come clean. You said, don't ask me about that second goal because I can't tell you much about it. Why is that?
Well, I think it's just one of those things where, you know, you're beginning to look at your watch and you're thinking it's never going to come, and it was a glance away, and as the ball went in there, we kind of chased it in the net, if you like. It was an uncharacteristic goal. We were trying to set goals up, and all of a sudden the ball flew across, and we were in on the end of it.
My clearest memory of it, Brian, is getting cramped just as I connected with the ball. My calf seized up and I just was glad to see it go in. I thought I'd put it over the bar.
For a calf that had got cramped, you whacked it pretty hard up into the roof of the
I didn't really have a clear view of it. It just came across and I stuck a leg out, to be honest. I just went in there on instinct.
We're not as bad as the league position suggests, but maybe we're very immature in many ways, and we're going to suffer a little bit for that immaturity. But if we get through this year, we'll be so much better for the lessons we've learned.
And, of course, you have another vital game on Tuesday against Birmingham City here.
They're all important, and we must take today's game in our stride. It's just one game, and it's about time we had a victory after all. And we've got lots of difficult games to come, so have the other teams, and it's they can all take heart. There's plenty of time to go.
Just tell me finally about the pressure that's been on you and the way it's shown yourself, because you said to me before the start, I'm not sure whether I should be on the bench today or up in the box. I want to do something different to change things.
Well, that's pure, if you like, silliness, or you just get a bit sentimental, or you get what suit did you wear last week, all the silly little things. We had coffee and brandy at 2:30 today, which is something we've never had before in the dressing room. That may have helped relax them a little bit.
I knew nothing about it until I could smell the brandy. I wondered what was going on when I came out of the medical room, but there it was. Little sip, that was enough for me. But we'll probably have it Tuesday night again now.
No, I think that, generally speaking, Brian, we know what we've got to do, and it's down to us.
What about you, the pressure on you? Tell me how you felt that.
Well, there's a good example. You see, you asked me a question and I veered away from answering it. I say to them this, of course there's pressure, but I say to them this, we're bottom of the league, the pressure's on the other teams, they should come and beat us. We're bottom, the pressure's on them.
They're a good club, and it was a marvellous finish for them. And indeed, Aston Villa themselves said Luton deserved to win. But what a thrust it was there, right at the finish from David Moss. And for months, there have been stories that he'll be leaving Luton at the end of this season when his contract is up. Well, tonight, David Pleat told me that he'd be talking to David about another contract. And David Moss says, I've had 5 great years at Luton. I'd be happy to talk to the manager again. And I've got a hunch that it wouldn't take much to keep David Moss there. Well, coffee and brandy for Luton at 2:30. It seems to be a winning formula. It lifts them, at any rate, 3 places in the table. Birmingham, they play against, they go to Luton, of course, on Tuesday. Brighton and Swansea, they all lost today. And so too did Manchester City. And look, they've played more games than anyone. And I think, as we've said before on this programme, Manchester City could yet be in real trouble. Well, coming next, a game of goals as Newcastle face Blackburn, and we follow Watford on their visit to West Bromwich Albion. That's coming your way. Welcome back. And now we go into the second division for a few minutes for the goal highlights of Newcastle United against Blackburn Rovers at St James's Park, where the pictures come from Tyne-Tees Television. Our commentators Roger Thames and Newcastle are in the stripes.
There's McDermott outside. Anderson steaming up outside him on the overlap. McDermott looking for Waddle. Metcalf there, and he's put it in. That's an own goal by Stuart Metcalf. Tried to play his team out of trouble, but succeeded in doing exactly the opposite. Neat control, in fact, and as he tried to just chip it back to his keeper, he got it all wrong. Dermott, Varady was there. Donald trying to create something, has to wait for the support well to get a cross in. Away there by Rathbone. Still Newcastle keep the move going. Anderson, McDonald, Varady. And Varady hooks that one in for the goal. Quick to seize the opportunity there as Newcastle kept that move going. Played in by McDonald. Varady assessed the bounce accurately. That was a skillful little flick there from Ray Varady. Rovers still have the corner kick. Metcalf and Carr, and turned in there by Keeley, the former Newcastle player, and that at least will please him, and so it does. Metcalf with the corner kick. Keeley was up there. Carr never really gathered it cleanly, and Keeley was there to turn the ball home. Now Dermott, good save by the keeper, and has it gone in? Eventually there by Waddle. Well, really took an eternity to get in there from Waddle. And the drama of the moment, rather lost, it was McDermott who fired it in. Geno got a foot to it, off the post, and just bouncing over the line there. Rathbone. Lowy to Rathbone. And we've got another one, and it's Keeley again. Well, that's a remarkable performance by Glenn Keeley, and what a remarkable end to a second half that really looked as though it was dying on its feet. That was a fine header from Keeley. He put that one away with no trouble. And it's 3-2 now, and there's smiles everywhere, especially on the face of Glenn Keeley.
Well, some really strange goals there. 3-2 it was to Newcastle, but they're going to have to settle for another season of second division football. But tonight, the promotion odds have swung back in favour of Queen's Park Rangers, Wolves and Fulham, front-runners for the bulk of the season. Rangers let a 2-goal lead slip against Leicester, 2-2 the result, but 5 more points, and Rangers are up in the first division. A 1-1 draw for Wolves at Rotherham. In fact, only Fulham of the top 4 managed to take 3 points. Leeds, they won 2-1 at Burnley. Well, Fulham seem to be on the verge of dropping yet another couple of home points until 2 minutes from time, when skipper Roger Brown headed another vital goal to beat Charlton and send them into the relegation places. And really, what a match it should be at Craven Cottage in a fortnight's time when Fulham play Leicester. Charlton, in fact, the only London team to lose today. Crystal Palace overtook them with their first success in some 9 matches. Ali Brown got the winner as they beat Carlisle 2-1. The reaction of manager Alan Mullery: "I'm delighted, but I've got no fingernails left." Well, rather like Newcastle, the FA Cup semi-finalists, Sheffield Wednesday, have dropped out of the promotion picture, and they've had to pay very dearly for their 2-0 win at Bolton. Fullback Ian Bailey broke his left leg, and that really is a desperately cruel thing to happen just a week away from the semi-final tie with Brighton at Highbury. And just to add to Wednesday's frustrations, Mick Lyons, Gary Megson and David Mills, all three are also on the casualty list. There are injury worries at Highbury as well for Arsenal, with the latest victim, Peter Nicholas. He missed the last 18 minutes of the 2-1 win over Coventry. Nicholas was skipper for the first time today. He's got a knee injury. So has David O'Leary, another absentee today. Goalkeeper Pat Jennings, he's got ankle trouble. But the biggest worry of all is Alan Sunderland with a groin strain. But no such problems for Arsenal's opponents and the cup favourites Manchester United. England skipper Brian Robson returned to lead United at Old Trafford against Southampton. Robson's been out since he was injured playing against Arsenal some 6 weeks ago. But he came through really well today, and in fact he got the United goal in a 1-1 draw. A memorable occasion as well for Southampton's Martin Foyle, just 17 years of age, only his second first-team appearance, and Martin it was who got the Saints' equaliser. Well, at Upton Park, Alan Dickens, the West Ham star, you'll remember here on the big match last week, continues to make a huge impression. He scored the first goal in Hammer's 2-1 win over Sunderland, that's a Sunday Mirror picture, and earned this accolade from the Sunderland manager, Alan Durban. Alan Dickens will be top class. He looks the best midfield goalscorer to come on the scene since John Walk. Well, the top of the third division is of great relevance to all of you who follow the big match from Wales and around the West Country. Newport stay 2 points clear despite the 2-0 defeat at Gillingham. Huddersfield have moved up behind them after beating Plymouth 2-0. Portsmouth, though, they're struggling at the moment, beaten 1-0 at home to Bradford City this afternoon. So Cardiff, 3-0 winners over Doncaster. They've pulled level on 72 points. Scant reward for Bristol Rovers, who paid for their fans to travel and watch them at Walsall. They lost 5-0 there, their heaviest defeat of the season. We've got one result tonight. It comes from the 4th Division. Torquay 2, Crewe 1. It doesn't affect the top of the table, where Wimbledon are still going really well. 3-1 winners over Darlington, and Wimbledon right behind the leaders, Hull City. Brian.
Thank you, Jim. Well, finally tonight, it's Watford. We saw them beaten at West Ham last weekend. They recovered by putting 5 past Luton on Monday. Second in the table, of course, and now they were up in the Midlands to take on West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns, where the pictures come from Central Television. Our commentator's Peter Brackley. Watford are in the yellow shirts.
It's a rather depleted Albion side today. Eric Statham also starts a 2-match ban. Barry Caldwell taking his place at fullback. And Martin Bennett is still troubled by the knee injury that's prevented him now from playing in the last 3 matches. Watford were quite devastating against Luton on Monday. 5 goals, the product of a system which, amazingly, some critics still consider to be boring. John Barnes again plays down the middle alongside Luther Blissett. Blissett with 25 goals so far this season. The only change from Monday is that with Richard Johnson injured, Ian Bolton returns to the back 4, with Kenny Jackett switching to midfield.
And we join the match now in the first half.
Goes Terry. Whitehead's throw. Bolton able to clear. Hitting the front man very quickly, and Barnes with a chance there with the goalkeeper right out of his area. Caldwell then who whacked it away for a throw-in. But Albion almost caught then by the speed of Watford's break. Bolton's long clearance over the head there of Robertson. Barnes was through. Unfortunately for Albion, Barron had spotted the danger. Wild pumping it on. Cross just knocking it down. Chance here for Perry. Again, he struck it well. Not able to beat Steve Sherwood. He's not afraid to try his luck. A good effort at goal then from Mick Perry. Owen. Cross. Finding Eastoe, who shielded it well. Off goes Cross. Looking for the centre, Zondervan, and then away by Kenny Jackett. Owen beating Taylor. Can he get a shot in? What a good save! That was superbly hit then by Gary Owen. Sherwood watching it all the way. At the angle, absolutely perfect. And we can see it again. A neat sidestep from Owen, setting himself up for the shot, but not good enough to beat Sherwood. Dreadful mistake then by Robertson has sent Barnes in. And Barnes has given Watford the lead. A tragic error then by Alistair Robertson. A man of his vast experience, that really was a terrible blunder. Seemed no threat at all. Robertson there with so much time outside of his own penalty area. Turned round, had no idea that Barnes was behind him. And Barnes nipped in, took the ball round the goalkeeper and tucked it away sweetly. So just over 3 minutes to half-time. And John Barnes has given Watford the lead. The mistake by Alistair Robertson. Now Blissett. Barnes and Lohman to his left. This is Barnes. Whitehead's tackle. Being rather slow to get the ball away and caught in trouble. Really had themselves to blame there. Barnes. Was he brought down by Whitehead? The referee said no. Looked to me as if he tripped John Barnes then. But a goal kick is the referee's decision. A header from Taylor. Blissett laying it off then for Callaghan. While knocking it back to Paul Barron. And Albion badly need a goal now to revive their performance. It's Watford who are coming forward again in strength here with Callaghan. And what a goal that was! That really was a tremendous effort by Nigel Callaghan. Striding off towards the area. Drifting away from Barry Caldwell. And his defenders closed in on him. What about that for a shot right into the far corner? 65 minutes gone and Nigel Callaghan has made it 2-0 to Watford. Here's Whitehead. Good tackle there by Jacket. He's done a sterling job in midfield for Watford. Lohman straight into the chest of Robertson. Zondervan giving it away to Rostron. It's Callaghan at the far post. Blissett made the first touch. Risto with Bolt. Albion's throw. His cross. Trying to shrug off Rice. He did so. And fisted over the bar by Steve Sherwood. That was a fine try then by Nicky Cross. He just gave himself enough room for the shot. Evading the challenge of Pat Rice. And Sherwood knocking it over the bar. So Zondervan with Albion's corner. Cross making the run to the near post. Here's Owen. Off goes Jacket now then for Watford. And the throw is deep inside Watford's half. Where the ball went out of play. Here's Perry. What can he do here? Well, he really has had a fine debut. Nick Perry. Shot there fairly well over the bar in the end, but he made the space for the shot. He looks a very promising player. Now Eastoe to Owen. Looking to slide it through to Cross. Rice was in the way. And now John Weil. Zondervan. This is Whitehead. Plenty of striped shirts in the area. Chested down by Eastoe. It's got to be a penalty. His way to goal was clearly blocked. It was Ian Bolt who brought him down. There's the ball floated into the area by Whitehead. Isto chesting it down well, and Bolton clearly impeding him. And the referee pointing to the penalty spot. Gary Owen to take it. And would you believe it, he slides it wide. Well, he was telling me beforehand how proud he was of his penalty record. He's only missed a couple in the 25 or so that he's taken. So a bit of disappointment for Gary Owen. Agreed to stay on at the Hawthorns. He'll sign a new contract. I wonder if he'll want to carry on taking penalties. Zondervan. Blissett away to Callaghan, spreading the play well. Now Taylor for Barnes. Here's Callaghan, could be danger here. Blissett. And Lohman to finish. And Watford now have taken complete control of the game. Just a minute or so after Owen misses a penalty for Albion at the other end. Watford have made it 3-0. Nigel Callaghan, who turns the ball back across the goal. There's a scramble here with Blissett involved. Eventually he manages to slide the ball across the area, and there's Lohman coming in at the far post. Lohman couldn't turn Whitehead. And an Albion free kick. Whitehead in for Isto, falls in for Joel, and into the corner, and Albion have got one back. Martin Joel, who's had a fairly frustrating afternoon up until now, gets some consolation. Only his third goal of the season. He tucked it away in the corner. Whitehead with the free kick, floated over into the 18-yard box. And the ball falling then for Martin Joel. Not that easy in a shot either, but he managed to direct it well into the corner. Joel, there's Terry, up for John Barnes. And here now is Callaghan, raiding down the Watford right. Lohman, Barnes and Blissett all in the area. Gone round his man too. And in the end, Barron just managed to touch the ball over the bar. Nigel Callaghan really does strike a ball. With one or two defenders, I think, expecting the cross. It went in. And Barron had to knock the ball over the bar. Kenny Jackett is the player on the edge of the 6-yard box. Headed away by Cowdrill. Taylor back to Barnes. And it was Blissett with the header on, as Barron came for it. Blissett got there first, just touching it, and only just wide. John Barnes switching the ball onto his left foot. Floated ball into the area, which Barron came for, and Blissett headed just wide.
Good day for Watford, winning 3-1, while Manchester United were only drawing and Aston Villa were losing at Luton. It means that Watford get a firmer grip on second place. 6 games to go for them, 3 home, 3 away. They've really only got to keep their heads now, and they'll shoot straight into Europe next season. That's it. Quick reminder of a game tomorrow at QPR's ground, the National Association of Boys Clubs Under-18 International between England and Northern Ireland in aid of the Variety Club, and Clive Thomas is the ref. Thanks for being with us. What a dramatic finish we had at Luton today. The afternoon started with coffee and brandy for the Luton players, and it certainly worked. Even under pressure, when things weren't always going their way, as you know, there was a smile all around, particularly there from Kirk Stevens. And that spirit and optimism was finally rewarded by David Moss, nearly 2 minutes into injury time. Good night to you all.
Hill, can he finish this off right at the finish? And there's your answer. answer, but maybe a lot, except he can't find the ball at the moment. Now Walsh, perhaps he can, and Match Money can. Oh, and he's there!